Right, so in this lesson we're going to be doing geometry of 2D shapes, right? So it's mostly triangles, right? But then um, the main thing that I want you to focus on before we begin is the rules for this, right? It's a must. It's a big must for you to understand the type of triangles that are there, right? So we have a scaling triangle whereby all sides are different sides and different angles for all of them. We have a equilateral triangle whereby each side is equal and each angle is equal. So angles all are 60 degrees in an equilateral triangle. And finally we have a scaling triangle whereby the two sides are equal and the two angles opposite the sides are equal, right? This one, please remember it, because this one comes up most of the time. The best way to remember this is that this angle whereby the two sides touch, you don't use that one, use the other two, right? So if the triangle was like that and it stood like that, you would leave, right, this line and this line touch here, so that angle is not equal, but instead these two angles are equal, right? And then another rule that you must always remember is that angles within a triangle add up to 180 degrees, right? So this can be 40, that can be 50, and then you say 180 minus 40 gives you 140, minus 50 gives you 90, so this would be 90 degrees, right? And then last but not least is your right angle triangle, and always know that this is 90 degrees. If you see a sign with a box, that means 90 degrees. So they could literally give you a triangle like that. This is a right angle, this is 40 degrees, and then they say find this angle here. So already you would know that this is 90 degrees plus 40 degrees plus unknown angle, will say x, equals to 180, right? 40 plus 90 is 130 degrees plus x. To find x by himself, you have to take the 130 to the other side, so x would be by himself there. 130 taken that side, 130 is positive here, that side will become negative, so it's going to be 180 minus 130, and x will be then 50 degrees, right? But we'll do these explanations together. What I want you to understand are these fundamental rules, right? 1, 2, 3 types of triangles. 4 is sum of angles all add up to 180, and then 5 is this rule, that 90 degrees, right? Now in geometry you must always explain the reason why you're saying something, right? So if we're going to say that angles add up to 180, you must say that sum of angles um, in triangle add up to 180, right? But then we'll go through that together. Here's the first question that we're going to look at. Please look at this before you answer it. Just look at it, right? Try to understand, look at it, try to identify the type of triangle it is, right? In every single one of this, try to identify the type of triangle, understand the properties, right? Like I said here, the properties of a scaling triangle is that none of the angles are equal, none of the sides are equal. Properties of an equilateral triangle: all of the sides are equal, all of the angles are equal. Properties of a isosceles triangle: two sides are equal, two angles are equal, right? And then we're going to go to this one. They're asking us to find the line DF, which is this line over here, line DF there, right? So if you look at it, right, remember here I said that if you have two equal angles, that means the sides opposite those angles are also equal, right? So in your explanation here, you're going to say that and line DE is equal to DF, right? Line DE is equal to DF, and then like we said, always put your reason. So your reason there is isosceles triangle. Please forgive my spelling. Yeah, I did. I was good at numbers, not English, right? And then now you say DE. No, sorry, not DE. DF is equal to 4 millimeters, and that's your answer, right? So first, how the way I can explain it is that geometry, you're in a way teaching, right? You must. It's like holding a child by the hand, and you are showing them everything, spoon feeding in a way, right? So first you say what it is that you're doing. I am saying that DE is equal to DF, and then I'm also saying that I'm also telling you why it is that, right? And because I told you why it is that, therefore, then that is true. You with me? Let me show you another one. Now they're saying find angle E. So the angle that we're looking for here is this one here, angle E. But we're saying that we're looking for angle E there, but we're saying that angle D is 100 degrees, right? Now, first things first here, what we're going to do is we're going to first state what we know, right? We know that this angle, this line and this line are equal, right? So we're going to say that because these two are equal, that means these two are equal, right? They've even given it to us there. So we're going to say that angle E is equal to angle F. Reason is it's given. Or you can say isosceles triangle, right? The reason why I'm saying it's given is because if you look at that, if they've drawn these lines here, if they draw this line and that line, that means those are equal, right? The same way when I draw these two lines here, it means that these two lines are equal, right? And then remember what I said, the lines where they meet, that angle you ignore, which is that one, and then these two are equal, right? Remove all this, and this is 100 degrees, right? So those two are equal, it is given. Therefore we can say that angle E equals to angle F and is equal to X. We're gonna say it's X, right? Then we can say that 100 degrees. All right, let me backtrack and make it simple. Angle D plus angle E plus angle F is 180 degrees, and your reason is sum of angles in triangle. I'm just gonna write this to make it shorter. Sum of angles in a triangle add up to 180. So in the place of angle D, you're gonna put 100 degrees there. In the place of angle E, we said angle E and angle F equals to X. So we're gonna say X there plus X there equals to 180. Simplify this, move 100 degrees that side, and simplify X and X. X plus X equals to 2X equals to, when you move 100 degrees that side, it becomes negative, right? It's positive here, then it becomes negative. So it's going to be minus 100 degrees there, right? Then you have 180 minus 100, that will give you 80, right? How do you find X alone? Remember, when an equation is like this, then it means that what you did essentially is say that 2 multiplied by X, and this is the same as 2x, right? The way you find a number by itself, if you have 2x like that, right, you divide it by 2, then this cancels out that, right? Just to show you practically what I'm saying. Let's say we have 2 multiplied by 10, right? And then we have it divided by 2. Because remember what I said? I said 2x divided by 2, you'll find x by itself, right? So 2 times 10 divided by 2, that will give you 2 times 10 is 20. Divided by 2, you'll get 10, right? But you could have just said 2 multiplied by 10 over 2 is equals to, cancel that and that, then you have 10. Same answer, right? So essentially what we're doing here is we are cancelling this 2 the same way, right? So we're going to say divided by 2 here and divided by 2 that side, and then x is equals to 40 degrees, right? But remember, the question didn't ask you how much is x. The question asked you find e, right? Find e. So remember, go back here. We said that e equals to f equals to x. So that means that angle E is equals to x is equals to 40 degrees. And that's your answer. Or you could just leave it as E equals to 40 degrees. Right? You don't need to write this step. You can just skip it and then go there. Right? First one. Please, if you don't understand what I did here, look at it thoroughly, try to understand it, try to see what I did, try to see the steps, right? And then read it, like actually read it to understand it before you then do the next question. Try to understand this one. Pause the video here, look at this, pause the video, attempt this by yourself, right? It's essentially the same question, just attempt it by yourself, and then mark yourself after doing it by seeing what I've done, right? So we're gonna do this one here, right? We know that sum of angles in a triangle equals to 180, right? They want us to find x and z, right? And we only have 24 there. Now, what kind of triangle is this? Start by trying to identify the triangle, right? Is it an equilateral triangle? No, not all the sides are equal, right? They only wrote this side and that side as equal, 2 sides, not all of them. Is it a scalene? Scalene, none of the sides are equal, so it can't be this one because 2 sides are equal. Now that only leaves one triangle, isosceles triangle, right? Always remember, triangles can only be one of the 3. Always. So that leaves isosceles triangle. Then we can say that angle x, no, let me write the other one. Angle x is equal to angle z, and that is because isosceles triangle, right? You could also say that xy is equal to yz, just as proof, right? Why do you say they're equal? Because angles opposite equal sides are equal. Which 2 sides are equal? xy and yz. That's what you say. Now to make it simple, you can say x is equal to angle z, and then we're gonna just say that is x there is equal to x, right? Then we come back again and say angle y plus angle x plus angle z is equal to 180 degrees, right? What is our reasoning for that? Sum of angles in a triangle equals to 180. Remember, write the whole thing, don't do what I'm doing, write the whole thing down so that your teacher can also see. Remember what I said? We are holding the teacher's hand and we're showing them exactly what we did here, right? Now we're substituting values. In the place of y, we're saying 24 degrees. In the place of x, we're going to put this x because we stated it here, right? So we're going to put x there plus x again, because z is also equals to x, and then is equal to 180 degrees, right? Now we're going to simplify it. We're going to take 24 that side, and then we're going to add x and x together, right? Therefore, we're going to have here, take 24 that side, we're going to have 180 minus 24 degrees, and then 24 here, it's removed, right? And then now we say x plus x, right? Remember, x plus x, you essentially have an invisible one, so it's an invisible 1x plus an invisible 1x, and that will just give you 2x, right? Then here you have 2x is equal to 180 minus 24, that is 156 degrees, right? Remember what I said here, remember what we do, right? If we have 2x or whatever multiplied by x and we want x by itself, we we divide by the number next to x, by the coefficient. Then we have x is equal to 78 degrees, 78 degrees, right? Then now remember, they're not asking for what is x, they asked for what is that x, capital X and capital Z. And then remember what we said here, capital X and capital Z is equal to x. So then you can say, therefore x is equal to 78 degrees and z is equal to 78 degrees, and then you have your answer there, right? Something else that I wanted to show you, right? If you have an equation like this, right, and this goes to algebraic expressions and equations, right? I will make a video on that also. If you have, say, 40 plus x plus x, and they say solve that, you can't say 40 plus x, you can't put that in your calculator. X is an unknown variable, and this, both x's are unknown variables, so you can't do anything about that. The only thing you can do if an equation is like this is simplify it and say 40 plus, you have x and x there, right? You can add two x's together, so that's invisible 1 there, invisible 1, you have 2x, and you leave your equation like this, right? Only if they said that x is equal to 20, then can you say that we can continue our equation there and say plus 2, in the place of x you put 20. So here you're going to say bracket, open bracket, 20, and then like that. And then now if you have something like this, 2 and brackets and something inside, you multiply 2 inside of the brackets. You with me? So how would that look? Let me continue this and then I'll explain it. That would be 40 plus, multiply 2 inside the brackets, that would be 20 multiplied by 2, that would give you 40, and your final answer would be 80, right? Now multiplying inside of the brackets, what do I mean? That means that if you had something like 2 multiplied by 40 plus 50, right, what you can do is say, sorry, what you can do is say 2 multiplied by, simplify inside, you have 90 there, and then 2 multiplied inside there, you have 2 multiplied by 90. You don't need to write that, you can skip that, close to 180, right? Or you can simply say, right, you can simply say 2 multiplied inside, right, 40 plus 50, multiply 2 by 40 and multiply 2 by 50, right? 2 multiplied by 40 is 80, plus 2 multiplied by 50 is 100, still get 180, right? In most cases you will not use this step. In most cases you will use this one, because in most cases your equations will look like 2 multiplied by x plus 40. You with me? We said that you can't add x and 40, therefore we move on to the next step, multiply inside. So it's going to be 2 multiplied by x plus 2 multiplied by 40, and then you have the 2x plus 80. That's done. Until they give you the value of x, you can't do anything else. You with me? So that is an explanation of the first two there that I've done there. I will create another video going through the rest of these, but I will not be explaining, right? The rest of these will be so that you understand, for practice, right? You can look at the question, try to do it by yourself, and then refer to the video as answers. But this one was for explanation, so I can show you how it's done, how you get to the answers and all that, right?